Okay, it's actually been a couple of days since the last one of these. It's Sunday the 14th of January. I think the last one of these I did was my week with Arthur. He's back with his mum since Friday, and we'll be back together again this coming Friday. We're together every other week. Why has it been a couple of days? I don't know really. I was in the office as normal on Friday. I worked a bit later on Friday, and then decided to drive to where I wanted to go to for this week that I'm currently on. So I'm kind of back exploring places in the Wild Guide Central England book, and we're in the Wye Valley, so there's a crossover with the Wild Guide Wales book as well. So yeah, on Friday I drove down to my idea was to drive to St Andrew's Well. But when I got there, the road the final road that Google Maps wanted to take me on was basically a farm track, not tarmacked at all, super bumpy, really low overhanging trees. I'm just doing myself some toast for dinner, so I'm just getting up to check the toast. So I had a bit of a faff trying to find somewhere to park. In the end, I had to drive about 5 minutes away, and I was parked just off a road. So all in all, I was there a little bit late, and just didn't get time to do a video then. And then on Saturday, so yesterday, where on earth did I drive to? I can't remember. Did I come? No, I wasn't here. Do you know what? I can't remember where I went on Saturday. It's Sunday today, and where the hell was I yesterday? I got up and I drove. My God! Where on earth did I go to yesterday? This is a terrible video that doesn't explain anything to anyone. I'm currently at Tinton Quarry and Railway, and which is also near to Devil's Pulpit, and I'm basically on Offa's Dyke. You basically walk up Offa's Dyke to go one way to Tinton Quarry and the other way to Devil's Pulpit. Man alive! Oh, that I remembered. Yes, I remembered. God, that's fantastic. I then from where I parked near St Andrew's Well, yesterday I drove to the Buckstone, which is near Staunton, and there was a really nice place. You pull off the main road, you get onto sort of a quite a tight, sharp, steep bend which goes into a single track road, and that's the road that you walk up to, then keep walking and you get to the Buckstone, which has got an amazing views. Actually, the picture there is the Buckstone, and I just felt really at home where I parked. I parked on the entrance to the single track road. Just checking my toast again. And because the entrance was quite wide, there's like a decent amount of space to park the motorhome without getting it in the way of anybody that's wanting to drive up the single track road. Got my dinner, by the way. All good. Olives, sourdough, organic tomato, bacon from Clive's of Cropthorne, and some diced potatoes that I made when I did Pancake Fridays on a Thursday afternoon for a celebration for Arthur, and olives, obviously. So yeah, I just felt really happy where I was parked yesterday, so I decided to stay there for the night. And this year my mission is really to sort out my sleep. I just ended last year feeling totally exhausted and drained and getting ill, which felt like my body telling me I'm really tired, and I can see it in the bags under my eyes, which have been getting worse and worse. So I'm going to make sure this year, unless there's a specific reason, that I don't set an alarm on a weekend. I'm still going to go to bed at roughly the same time, so we're just after 6 o'clock now. I normally would actually be trying to finish eating by 6, so I'm a little bit late tonight. But I'm not doing any exercise tonight, which I'll explain in a minute. So that should be all right. And I probably won't go for a walk after I've eaten, which I should do, but it is pitch black where I'm parked. I'm basically in the woods on Offa's Dyke. There is no light pollution at all. I'm in the depths of the Wye Valley and the Forest of Dean. It's beautiful. It's a lovely place to be. Exactly where I want to be. And totally lost my thread, what I was going to talk about then. So anyway, where I parked near the Buckstone, and as a video diary about living in a motorhome, I absolutely love, I keep chuckling to myself that I've got all of the things that are important in my life, apart from the people that are important because I'm on my own. But apart from not having the people that are important, I've got all the things that are important. I've got excellent food, I've got heat, I've got my devices, I've got books, and I can be pretty much where I want to be. I absolutely love freedom. So I loved where I was yesterday. I was talking about not getting up too early. So I'm not getting up too early. So I do feel rejuvenated. I spent a bit too long on the laptop yesterday. I had some things to finish off with like personal social posts, which had been a backlog for ages, but I've really come up with a much better process to do that this year, so I don't end up with a backlog. That did drain me a little bit. But I was doing like 6 hours, which is a bit crazy. But yeah, I basically slept in the last couple of mornings until 9 o'clock on Saturday morning and 8 o'clock this morning. It's fantastic. I must do that. I must do that more often rather than setting an alarm for 6 or 7 o'clock to try and get up at roughly the same time that I would in the week. I've got to be kinder to myself. So yesterday and today I've been out and about. I've been out in the wild, been going for some good walks, steep walks. Yesterday from where I parked in Staunton up to the Buckstone. And today I've done a big walk. I went one way on Offa's Dyke path, all the way down to the bottom of the valley, down to the river Wye, back up round the edge of this huge limestone quarry, and then up super steep, slippy paths, not quite scrambling, but almost scrambling up these paths that are so steep. Amazing views across the River Wye to the cliff on the other side of the valley. Really impressed with the Wye Valley and the Forest of Dean. I really feel it's a place I can come back to. I want to come back to a lot more. And even as I was walking around the edge of the quarry, I saw this cabin that must be used by the people that work at the quarry. I don't know if the quarry is still live, if they still work there or not, but I thought that's a cabin I would come back to often. Real solitude, great walks and trails for mountain biking and jogging. A beautiful place to be, and where the cabin is, it looks across the River Wye to the other side of the valley. Yeah, that's exactly the sort of place I would like to buy a tiny bit of land and build a cabin. Would love to do that. So yeah, did a sort of a big walk this morning until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Came back here, did some lunch. I love that I can do that in the motorhome. It's so cool. And then about 3 or 4 o'clock, I forget exactly which, I set off the other way on the Offa's Dyke path and headed off towards Devil's Pulpit, which sounds like the Devil's Ball Bag, if you've got a strange mind like me. That was a lovely walk as well, a tree-lined walk, really well cared for and tended path. Some great breaks in the tree cover, so you can see across the valley and across the Forest of Dean, really stunning. And then the actual view from the Devil's Pulpit is pretty cool, looking down on the Wye, the River Wye, to the ruins of Tintern Abbey, which looks huge. And I'm actually I'm sort of travelling south along the eastern side of the Wye Valley. I'm going to keep going south, and then I'm going to go north along the western side of the Wye Valley up to Tintern. So I will check out Tintern Abbey. Apart from that, life in the motorhome, it's freezing cold. It's super cold at the moment, and so that's one thing. So I do have the diesel heater on. That does mean I've been using a bit more of the battery. I'm down to about 30% charge in the battery, which is getting a bit low. But the reason I had a new charger installed was that if I need to, I can pop into a campsite that has an electric hookup to plug in, and I'd be able to recharge the lithium-ion leisure battery really quickly. The charger that Dan installed is about 20 times better than the original onboard charger, but that's fair enough. The original onboard charger is 20 years old. Did lithium-ion batteries and all the solar power technology that we've got today even exist when this motorhome was built? I have no idea. Probably not. So that's one thing. I definitely recommend getting a Lifesaver jerry can. You can filter and drink water from anywhere. I'll always try and find the cleanest water from rivers, mountain streams, but I could get it from any river or any lake if I wanted to. And I love the shower head attachment, so I actually I've decided I did have the shower tray resprayed, but it's super bumpy, and I just can't see that it's going to work very well as a shower tray because the water won't run off into the drain, so it's going to make the shower very wet and damp. So all I did was I hooked up the Lifesaver jerry can and put it up in the place I do in the toilet, attached the shower head attachment, and stuck the shower head and the hose out the window, and I had a shower outside. It worked perfectly, so I've also had a shower today. Always good. Just a cold water shower, but I'm okay with that. And I did actually spot a spot not too far from here, just a very short walk, where there is wild water running, a tiny little stream. So I will wander up there tomorrow with the bucket, fill up the bucket, bring that back, and I'll top up the Lifesaver jerry can to keep me going with water. So I'm pretty independent when it comes to water. I don't need to find a campsite to refill, and I actually don't want to do that at the moment in winter when it's freezing. I don't want to have the onboard tank or onboard pipes or onboard water pump I don't want water in them, because if it freezes, and it does get that cold in the motorhome, it's been -2 degrees C in the motorhome before. Oh, just started to rain. If it freezes, I'm going to have burst pipes, broken water pump, and God knows what else damage will be done by the water escaping into the motorhome. Water and damp is the devil's whatever of the motorhome. Is the Achilles heel of a motorhome. Is really, I hate the idea of dripping water. I know what water can do to destroy wood and all the other bits and bobs. So I'm really happy with the Lifesaver jerry can. That's it for this one. I'm going to try and get back on to doing the video diaries every day. I'm going to eat my dinner, have a chill out, and then it'll be bedtime soon. So yeah, super happy to be back out into the wild. And that's it for this one.